I know that you think that delivering projects is the hardest part, but I'm here to tell you guys that whatever niche you're going for, you can always crush it. And to prove it, I'm going to show you how I'm going to help a community member that managed to land 3 clients in a month, fulfilling one of the hardest niches out there. That way you guys can learn how to do it yourselves and break all your limiting beliefs about delivery. So let's get started.
Third client in the bag. Third client closed. An accounting firm, $2,777 a month, 10 booked meetings, $527 upfront fee for tools, $1,125 start of campaign, $1,125 end of campaign. Congratulations, my friend. This is actually his third client within a month, which is absolutely insane. I mean, think about it. Like 3 clients in a month. From like having zero knowledge about sales systems or sales automation, that's huge, man. Congratulations, okay? So let's just help this member deliver for his clients, okay? So unfortunately, his client doesn't have an offer, which is typical. Sometimes you would work with clients that don't have a clear offer. So your job is just to help them come up with one, okay? Which is really important. Like offer building is one of the most crucial things that you need, okay, in order for you to sell automation, in order for you to sell any type of business, really, okay? This is why I'll always emphasize that you guys learn how to come up with your offer. That way you can sell automation, sales systems, and essentially just scale your sales automation, your automation agency, okay? This is really important because most people think that they will just have to learn automation, okay? And that's it. Like, that's literally it. Well, that's the wrong way to do it, because even if you learn how to build automation, well, you still need to learn how to position it. You still need to learn how to communicate the benefits or the value of your automation to your prospects or clients, okay? Because the automation is not going to sell itself. So your automation or whatever workflow you are currently building, right? It doesn't have any value, like doesn't do anything unless you have like a clear offer with it, okay? Unless you know how to position it in a way that makes businesses and people buy it, okay? Not only it's going to help you sell it quickly, but it's also going to help you transition from like I always say this, from a builder to a strategist, okay? That way you stop being a builder your entire life and actually start scaling, you know? And this is where the real money is. The real money is not in just building automations, okay? So you guys need to understand that even if you spend weeks, even months building this automation, it doesn't do anything really unless you know how to sell it, unless you come up with an offer that makes other businesses and people want to say yes and actually pay you money for it, okay? That's the only way you can actually sell it, okay? And this is like a big problem with the AI and automation space. And most gurus are trying to show you this crazy workflows, this 30-step na10make.com workflows. But it's in reality just hype, okay? Just hype to get views. So the most important thing is having an offer that clearly states the payoff and the outcome that your client is going to get when they're going to buy from you or decide to work with you, okay? So if the workflow doesn't move the needle, okay, like no business would buy it, okay? And this is the cold hard truth. Nobody's going to buy useless workflows. I mean, think about it. You wouldn't buy them. So what makes you think other businesses will buy them? Like you know deep down in your heart, you know you won't buy these crazy workflows because deep down you know they're not gonna, like, they don't move the needle. They don't really solve like a real life business problem, okay? So keep that in mind always. So what I've done is I've managed to build an offer for this client, and let me walk you guys through it. So this is basically SaaS positioning. Most business owners are overpaying their taxes and waiting way too long to get their financial reports because his client is an accounting firm. That's the problem this accounting firm solves, okay? So it's very simple, very clear, right? It's very like outcome driven, benefits over features. So what do they do? Essentially is they save money on taxes and get your financials to you fast, okay? This is literally all they do, okay? I know you might be wondering, Saad, okay, I understand they save businesses money on taxes and they get their financials to them fast. Well, how do we find these companies? Well, let's just think about it logically. Who do you think will need an accounting firm? Well, obviously it's a company, okay? Well, how do I know if a company is how do I know that a company needs an accountant? Well, a clear signal, right, is if a company is hiring for an accountant. Because if they are hiring for an accountant, well, the pain is clear, right? I need an accountant, so I'm just going to hire for it, okay? So what we're going to do is we're just going to find companies hiring for an accountant, okay? And the best way to do it is basically just LinkedIn jobs. And I'm going to walk you guys through it step by step, okay? So let's walk you through the filters in LinkedIn jobs, okay? So this is called ultra targeting, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to filter by date posted, basically the past month, which means fresh paying, active hiring, okay? And then we're going to go for experience level, which is entry level, associates, and we're going to also avoid director, executive, because they're not the decision makers, okay? We're going to go for job type, which is going to be full-time, because these are the 60 to 100K a year positions you want to target, okay? And we're also going to go for remote, on-site, hybrid, just because we want to avoid pure remote. We want local companies the clients can actually service, okay? For the location, we're going to pick the United States, okay? In terms of the industry, we're going to go for technology, information, internet, and financial services, business consulting and services, manufacturing, and accountant, ironically, because they are an accounting firm, and we're also going to look for accounting firms that are hiring for an accountant. We're going to go for job function, finance, because this catches accounting roles in my experience. And then the titles is going to be accountants, okay? So we're going to pull the accountant, senior accountant, etc. So basically all the accountants, because when you put accountant, it's going to pull all the jobs that include accountant, okay? So the salary is going to be $60,000 minimum, okay? Because it shows that they have a real budget. Now, they're not just looking for like cheap labor, because we want to connect our clients or his client to actual businesses that have the budget, right? Not just tire kickers. So we're going to start with these filters, and we're going to get a clean list for actively hiring accounting roles with real budget in our local markets. And then obviously we're going to go for under 10 applicants, right? And we're going to toggle this on because it means less competition, easier to stand out, okay? So these are basically the filters. As you guys can see, it's not about just building the automation. Like, you need to know how to position yourself. And this applies to anything. Like, even if you want to sell automation, like generic automation, well, think about it, like, who would need that automation, okay? When you reverse engineer that way, you'll see that you've been spinning your wheels. You're going to notice that you're trying to sell automation for people who don't want it, can't afford it, and simply they just don't need it, okay? Which is why I always emphasize on selling sales systems, because they solve a big problem, which is client acquisition. Because, I mean, think about it. Every business needs customers. It's safe to assume that every business needs customers, but it's very hard to look for companies that would want your onboarding system or would want your AI proposal generator, right? Like, there's no signals for that, you know? So this is why selling just generic automation just doesn't scale. If you want to just, go for one-off projects, I'm assuming you don't, because you're kind of like me and you want to actually build a business that's long-term. You want to do this for a long-term and actually build something that's repeatable, predictable, and reliable, not just like sell this automation today and try to sell a different thing the next day. And it's just, you're making 1K this month. Next month, you're making $0 because simply there's nobody that wants what you sell. So always go for sales systems. Anyways, so let's just go for the dream email, and I'm going to explain the thought process behind it. Okay, so we have, hey, first name, so you're hiring for an in-house job title. This is basically just like a variable, like job title, and we're going to retrieve that from our search. Okay, a lot of founders make that move when they feel like their current books are messy or they are overpaying. Okay, so we notice that there's what do we call this? A hiring pain, okay, which is, I notice you're hiring for an in-house accountant. And then what we're doing is why they are hiring. So essentially what we're saying, hey, I saw you hiring and this is why you are hiring, okay? Because we're saying, hey, a lot of founders make that move when they feel like their current books are messy or they're overpaying, which is true. Just connected a founder in the same spot to someone who found 28K in missed deductions and now sends them clean financials weekly. Want me to make the intro. So what we're doing is, okay, I notice the hiring pain. I know why you're hiring. And we're essentially just introducing a better alternative. And then we have a soft close, which is this one right here. Okay, see the thought process of the dream email? Okay, which is exactly what I teach you guys here. And I always recommend you guys always go for these copywriting principles, because obviously you need to write good copy that makes other people want to buy from you. Okay, so right now this is basically the dream email. This is the filters that we're going to be using, and this is the client's offer. Okay, so right now let's just go ahead and get our hands dirty. Okay, so step one is we're going to have to go to LinkedIn jobs. Okay, linkedin.com/jobs. That's literally it. And then what we're going to do is going to go to title, just type in accountant. Okay. And then I'm just going to type in, for example, United States. Okay. So I have 29,000 results. Okay. I'm going to go to date posted. I want past month. Okay. I'm going to go to these filters that I have here. So past month, experience level, entry level. So I'm just going to go to all filters. So experience level, I want entry level. I also want associate, mid-senior level. So mid-senior level, sweet. And then job type is going to be full-time. So full-time. And then I want remote, on-site, okay? So remote and on-site. So remote, on-site, hybrid. Okay, and also hybrid. Okay. Location, we picked the United States. Industry is going to be technology. So industry, so professional services, technology, technology. Okay. And information and internet, so we have it. And then financial services. First of all, accounting, financial services, which is financial services, manufacturing, business consulting and services, accounting, ironically, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. We can even add like IT or IT consultant. Yeah. Or maybe, and also like a software development. Yeah. Forgot to add this. All right. So job function, finance. Okay. So where's the finance? So finance. Okay. And then accountants is already there. Salary, we want at least 60K plus. And under 10 applicants. So 10 applicants on. So right now I'm just going to copy this. Control C. I'm going to go to Epify because I need to scrape this data. Okay, so Epify is basically like a gold mine of scrapers. You can find like TikTok scraper, Google Maps scraper, Instagram scraper, anything really. So I'm just going to type in LinkedIn jobs. Okay, and there's a developer that actually built this for us, which is awesome. So I'm just going to go to advanced LinkedIn job scraper, try for free. And I'm going to paste in the job search y'all are here. Scrape more details slower, make sure it's on. Total numbers of records, I'm just going to put 1,000 here. And I'm going to need my session cookie, right? So if you noticed here, cookies. So the only thing you need is just like an extension that's called edit this cookie. Make sure to add it into your browser. I already have it. So once you click on add, you're going to have to find it in the extensions tab. Okay, so I'm going to go back, go to edit this cookie, and then export cookies copy to clipboard and simply just paste it here. Okay. So I'm going to go to proxy, make sure it's residential, run options, make sure it's no timeout, and click on start. Okay. I'm going to rent actor and save and start. Okay. So there we go. LinkedIn account detected scraped jobs. Okay. So if I go to output, I will see that I have the output here. Okay. Okay. So we did wait 11 minutes. Okay, and the scraper just finished scraping. Well, now, let's build a make.com system that's going to handle the entire flow for us, okay? I'm just going to go to make.com, okay? And then I'm going to go to create a new scenario by going to create a scenario, create new scenario. I'm going to name this accounting fulfillment for member. Okay, so step one, I'm going to go to Epify. So simply search for Epify here, and it's going to be get data set items. Okay, click on add, and then go to settings, go to API integration, copy your API key, simply go to connection type, go to Epify API token, paste this here in your API token. That's literally all you have to do. So you see this dataset ID, guys. So it's basically where the data is. Okay, so the scraper has a dataset ID. It's basically like the RAM, its brain, okay, where it stores the data. So if you go to runs, storage, this is the dataset ID, okay? Let me just do it again. So output, here's the table. You go to storage, well, this is the dataset ID, basically like its brain, where the data is, the leads that we just scraped, okay? So simply go to dataset ID, paste it here. Format, always make sure it's JSON, and let me just put 1 for now because we want to retrieve 1. Basically, manipulate the data, like continue the flow, and then we can just leave this empty and run the entire thing, okay? So simply put 1, click on save. Step 2 is I'm just going to name this accountant client leads, okay? And click on run once. So run once, boom. So I have this company name, right? I have the company LinkedIn. I have everything here, basically the same data in Make, okay? Well, now step 2 is I need to find a founder, because if you guys look through the copy, a lot of founders make that move. Hey, first name. So the founder is going to be the first name. Well, how do we find a founder? Well, it's not explicitly stated in the job descriptions because they're not going to state, okay, here's our founder. Doesn't make any sense. So we need to go our way and find the founder. So how do we find the founder? Well, simply we're just going to Google it. Okay, I'm just going to copy this and type in Connect Search LLC founder. So this is the guy. It's called Mead Kelly, right? This is the guy. This is the Chief Operation Officer. Okay, well, we just did this manually. Well, how can we automate this? Well, this is why API exists, okay? So I'm just gonna go to Rapid API, which is a platform that allows you to use a variety of their APIs. And the one that I want is Google search. So the same thing that we've done now is just manually, we just Googled it. We're just gonna use the API that essentially just does this for us automatically. So I'm just gonna go to Open Playground, and you see this code snippets, okay? So curl get, okay? You see this URL. This is basically the API. And you see query Nike, okay? So if I copy this and type in Nike, I've done the same thing, okay? I'm going to do the same thing using this URL, okay? So I'm just going to have to query, basically like go to this URL. So when I type in Nike, I've used Google Search API, their own API, okay? So this API allows you to do the same thing using their own API, okay? What do I do now is I need to find the founder, just like we talked about. Well, I need to type in here the company name, right, that I have, right, which is Connect Search plus founder. Well, I already have a search for URL for you guys just because I've done this so many times, okay? So this is the search URL that we need. So it's founder name. So founder along with CEO, etc. So if you copy this, right, and see the magic, click on this plus button, go to HTTP, make a request. So essentially what we're doing is going to query it, and then we're just going to use the data that we have. So the website is the company LinkedIn. The company name is obviously going to be the company name, okay? And then you see headers. These are the headers that we have here. So header, Rapid API host. So copy it, Control C, paste it in name, and then copy this, post, and paste it here, okay? Paste it here. And before I proceed, I'm just going to have to put myself here so you guys can see everything. Okay. Boom. And then now what do? I'm going to go to add header, and I'm going to add an additional header, which is my API key, okay? So once you sign up to Rapid API, they're going to give you your own API key, okay? Copy this and paste this in value, okay? I'm going to make sure I parse the response, okay? And check this out. If I run once, boom, that was quick. I'm going to go to data, and I go to results 1, Mead Kelly. This guy seems like it's familiar. This name is familiar. Is this the same guy? See, it's the same guy. So Chief Operation Officer. See how it works? Well, what do I do now? Well, I have the title, Mead Kelly. Well, I just need Mead Kelly. So I need to retrieve it. How do I do this? Well, AI is our best friend. Okay, so now let's just name this founder. And then I'm going to click on this plus button. I'm going to go to Entropic, create a prompt. Now, you do not need to be married to Claude. I just like using Claude, and I just use it most of the time. So you can use OpenAI if you want, or Gemini, or Perplexity, or anything really. So I'm just going to use SendNet. Max tokens don't go too much. Like, don't feed in too much, just 750, because you're just structuring. Go to role user, content is going to be text, okay? So the prompt is going to be an optimized prompt that I already have. I believe it's in, yeah, I have it in my 7-figure prompts. Let me go back to my 7-figure prompts. I'm going to leave you both documents. So rest assured, don't worry about it. So you can just copy and paste. You don't have to like go crazy and try to find it yourself. So clean names, copy. Okay, paste this here. So just copy and paste. That's all you have to do. And then I believe this is the data. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go to JSON because I want the data to be JSON. So parse the JSON. So text response. And if I save this, run anyway, check this out. Mead Kelly. See, now I have it very structured. So if I have the full name now, and I also have the company name, well, I need to find, well, now I can find the email, right? So, okay, so I can reach out to them by saying, hey, I noticed you're hiring for a job title. Okay, so there's multiple ways to find emails. There's an email finder, which is a really good one, actually. So this is an email finder, and there's hunter.io, okay? And there's also like Scrape. There's also Snov. Okay, it does everything, right? But I would recommend you guys go for an email finder. Okay, in this case of this member, he can use our own command center, which is SSM Masters. So instead of him paying $500 for an email finder, because if you guys notice, go to pricing, go to monthly. And obviously, he's not going to just use 2K. 2K is already $90. He's obviously going to use like 10K. So 10K a month is like 10K a month of this credits is basically $200. So we've built our own in-house tool. We have a developer, shout out to Sammy, and he essentially just built our own in-house tool. So we don't have to, like, members don't need to pay $200 on top of like actually doing the work. So just removing all the bottleneck so can they actually do the work, and they, get their wins. This is why most people in SSM just get their first win in like 30 days, which is absolutely nuts. I mean, think about it. No business model, like no framework allows you to get like a couple clients in a month, which is crazy, right? So for the purpose of this video, we're just going to use an email finder because you guys don't have this, unfortunately. So I'm just going to go to app and I'm going to API. So once you sign up to an email finder, just copy your API key. And then I'm going to click on this plus button, go to an email finder, search for a person's email. I'm going to click on this add API key, save it here and save. Okay. Simply go to search by, go to company name. Company name is going to be obviously the company name. And the full name is the full name. Save. And then let's just run once. Let's see if any email is going to find the email. Obviously, whenever you query an email finder or any email enrichment platform, they're going to try to find the email. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Great, so we found the email. There we go. Valid, sweet. So this is going to be find email. Well, now we found the email, we found the founder. Well, simply we're just going to send them the email automatically. Okay, so click on this plus button. And this is what we want. We have the job title, okay? So, okay, we need to clean up the job titles because if you guys noticed here, title, accountant. Actually, we don't. For an accountant. Yeah, I think we don't, yeah. Or maybe we can use the anti-fragile method, okay? Which is a good learning experience for you guys that are watching. So check this out. So here's what we're going to do. So create a prompt. Go to model. We're going to go to Senet. Max tokens 3060. Go to add messages, user, content, text. And I really want you guys to pay attention to this. So this is a method that I came up with when I was scaling my process to like 40K a month. And then because I noticed that AI models are so bad at writing emails, but AI models are really good at writing in constrained variables. So when you put, for example, let me actually go to doc.nu so I can teach you. So check this out. So, hey, first name. This is basically a variable. First name is variable, interchangeable. I can add anything here, like Saad, Peter, anything, okay? So it could be, first name could be job title. Again, a variable. It could be company name. So anything really. So AI is not going to be able to predictably write the same type of email every single time, okay? It's going to mess up. So what you do is you turn whatever copy or template, whatever copy you wrote to a template. For example, noticed you're hiring for an accountant. Looks like accountant. Looks like you need help with X, Y, and Z. Now, how do I turn this to a template? Well, noticed you're hiring for job title. Looks like you need help with company outcome. See, an AI is going to read through company outcome. Okay, I'm going to feed in whatever the company is doing, and it's going to give me the output. Okay, which is pretty awesome, right? Nobody actually does this. Okay, so I'm just sharing it with you guys for free. So if you go here, so what do? I'm just gonna go and type in generate a statement similar to, and guess what? I have the perfect output, which is here. Copy it, paste it here. Similar to, saw you're hiring for an in-house job title. A lot of founder make, etc., etc. So saw, copy, saw you're hiring for an in-house accountant. The perfect formula, right? So I'm just gonna feed in job title. So AI can read through the job title and add it to the perfect template. So you see here, accountant. Boom. Outputs the result only with no additional formatting or text. Reason why is because if you just leave it that way and you want to plug this little copy into your email, it's gonna output like AI sometimes outputs like additional spaces and new lines. Okay, so save this. So output the result only with additional text as result as result equals, and close the brackets. Save this. Go to JSON. Parse JSON, and simply just text response here and check this out. So if I run anyway, I'll find the email, obviously. And then look at this. Saw you hiring for an in-house accountant. A lot of founders make that move when they feel like their current books are messy or they're overpaying. So when you have this power of using AI, using constrained variables or the anti-fragile method that I've came up with, well, like you can personalize anything, right? Which is exactly how I've managed to scale and send thousands of personalized, like, feels like a human wrote them, okay? So this is basically anti-fragile method. Okay, so now I'm just gonna plug everything to my copy. So tools, not make tools. So set, okay, it's set variable, and it's gonna be the dream email. Okay, and then I'm simply gonna copy, hey, so I need the first name. So the first name is this person. So split based off a space, get 1. So what I'm doing here is I'm splitting Mead Kelly, not literally, by a space. You see this little space here? So Mead space Kelly. So this is 1, this is 2, and this is space. So I'm splitting Mead Kelly, not literally, based off a space. I'm getting 1, Mead, right? So dash, and I'm going to add the results of my JSON. See how I basically making the cake, which is the email. And I'm just basically gathering the data, boom, 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 and then that's it. So now what do? Well, I'm just going to copy this, paste it here, copy this, paste it here, and then actually I'm going to add member name here. And then if I save this and run once, check this out. Boom, look at this copy. Hey, Mead, saw you're hiring for an in-house accountant. A lot of founders make that move, etc., etc. So the only thing I have to do now is I'm just going to have to add this right here and then check. Yeah, we need to add a new line here. Save. Sweet. So this is going to be dream email. Okay, now I'm going to plug everything to my Instantly. Instantly is basically like a cold email software. I'm just going to use this to send emails, thousands of emails to these people automatically. So simply go to Instantly, add leads to a campaign. And let me walk you guys through how to authenticate because a lot of people like get confused whether they should use like V1 or V2. Always make sure to use V1, okay? So I'm just going to log in and show you how to do it. And I've showed this multiple times, but it's worth showing again. So I'm going to go to settings. You see integration, API integrations, API keys, version 1. Always go to version 1, not version 2, guys. Version 1. Copy it. Go to add, paste it here, and click save. Now you can actually authenticate it using Make or N810. Sweet. So now I need the campaign. So accounting. Okay, now I have the campaign. Well, if I go to campaign ID and I'm going to refresh, I'm going to find it here. So accountant, lead email is going to be the found email. The first name is going to be, again, same thing. So split based off a space, just like we talked about, get one. Copy and paste. Now we get into the company name is going to be the company name. And then the personalization is going to be the personalization. Save. We need to add a filter. So only if email is found. So only if email exists. So email exists or found. Okay. So right now, let's just go ahead and run this to, let's say, for example, 25. Okay. We're adding to our Instantly account. So I'm going to go to analytics and leads. I'm going to see that my leads are going to be added right now. Okay. So if I go to sequences, I can essentially just type in subject line is going to be quick intro for company name. Okay. Save. So I've managed to add the leads. If I go to leads, I will see that I'm adding people here. Personalization, which is a variable. So, hey, Amy, so you're hiring for an in-house tax manager with a path to partner. A lot of founders make that move when they feel like their current tax strategy is inefficient or they're paying too much in taxes. Sweet. Hey, Matthew. So I'm going to add sends from my iPhone. Save. And I have basically everything. If I go to my leads, I will see that I'm getting all my leads getting added to instantly. Very, very simple flow, right? So essentially, you just get in the leads, finding the founder, structuring the data, parsing the JSON, finding the emails, using the anti-fragile method, pre-drafting the copy, and adding everything to instantly. See, just very, very valuable. There's no like crazy workflows. It just gets the job done, right? So exactly what I recommend you guys always build. Okay, so this is exactly how you fulfill for like an accountant firm, right? Take everything that I explained here in terms of like offers, etc. I'm going to leave you the Excali draw, obviously, and then make sure to read through the positioning, right? Understand it and try to basically use the big idea, apply it to your exact situation. Okay, so the only thing you have to do now is essentially just get out there, take action. I believe in you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.